There's the ancient Sanskrit term, which translates loosely to the sound of universal consciousness, the sound of like divine infinite interconnectedness. It's represented in Om. My middle name, the first two letters are Om. So my parents, they knew what they were doing, even if they didn't realize that they knew what they were doing. So the thing that I love about my name, Aname, which it's a Nigerian name, specifically my tribe. Robo, it means my own, or it is mine. It's a very fun name to use in wordplay. One of my email addresses is onomatopia, as you see there, onometamorphosis, onometaphor, onometa5, onome day. When I want to help people understand how to pronounce my name, I usually say onome afternoon. So, there's a lot of wordplay inherent in my name. And I think that had played a big role in the cultivation of my personality, because I've always really been into wordplay, the power of words, the beauty of words, the way words dance inside my mouth. Like I have a very visceral relationship to words, to sound, to frequency, to that particular range of frequency that's within sound. And so I've been thinking a lot about these journeys in my life that have sometimes felt parallel, sometimes intersect, and sometimes feel separate from each other. And those two tracks, I typically call them the music track and the consciousness track. My theory is that creative expression, really of any kind, whether it's dance or singing or painting or building things, any kind of creative endeavor, it has this power to open these portals that go beyond your everyday identity. And I find more often than not that people who are drawn to the arts, people who are drawn to creating art in some form of fashion, tend to also have a greater than average, whatever you'd call average, or greater interest or affinity for spiritual seeking or extrasensory capacity. Pretty much all the psychics I know, or people who have a lot of psychic capacity, or like, are deeply in tune, deeply intuitive, also happen to be creators. And I don't think that's a coincidence. I think there's a close connection to creativity as an aesthetic endeavor and creativity as a spiritual endeavor. And much of my life, I've felt this impulse, this urge to marry the two, and not quite knowing how. Like there's a lot of spiritual energy in how I create music. I tend to want to bring people together to sing together spontaneously, because there's so much joy and spiritual liberation that comes from that is distinct from, for me, distinct from singing gospel music praising the Lord. There's a certain spirituality in that as well. I'm really drawn to bringing people together to experience that spirit of connectedness within themselves, within ourselves, collectively, and individually. And you can call that spiritual connection God, you can call it the universe, you can call it source. It goes by many different names, but that energy is what I'm deeply interested in, and experiencing it through that particular medium to keep that connection alive within myself and amplify that in community.